Hello and welcome to Taiwan Talk, the show where we speak with people living in Taiwan and Taiwanese people living abroad. Today, I am your host, Trevor Tortomasi. Well, I'm always your host. But today in the studio, we have the former deputy manager of the Indigenous Peoples Cultural Foundation, or the IPCF. His name is Joseph Zhuang. Welcome, Joseph.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
And so, Joseph, just to start off, can you tell us what the IPCF is?
Okay. IPCF was established in 2009 and with a commitment to pass on the indigenous culture, education, and operate indigenous media. And the Taiwan Indigenous TV, is short to say TITV, was established in 2004, officially broadcast in 2005. It is also the first indigenous TV channel in Asia. TITV produced both news and programs, daily news, indigenous language news, and also we have documentary and the talking show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So you said the TV channel has been around for about 20 years?
Yeah.
So there's also a radio station.
Yeah. So the radio station is almost 5 years. So the radio station we named Aliang 96.3. Aliang means friendly in Taiwan language. So we named Aliang radios to take a really friendly environment of the radio station.
So the main goals of the IPCF and the Aliang radio station and the TITV channel are to sort of broadcast indigenous culture. How have these goals advanced over the years? Do you find yourself having any new goals as people learn more about the culture? Do you share specific things?
Okay, so our mandates are highly cultural value of indigenous peoples, as well as safeguard and protect the right of indigenous peoples to media. And second, we try to reverse stereotypes and discriminate against indigenous peoples through mass media, presentations, and cultural events. And we have to pass down indigenous cultural values.
Okay, so showing people more of the indigenous artistic and cultural landscape can really help to give a friendly vision of indigenous people and culture in Taiwan and fight against any bad stereotypes. What positive changes have you seen so far in the past 20 or so years as the IPCF has shared culture and art around Taiwan?
Okay, I think more and more people in Taiwan can see more indigenous arts, or they can see different culture for their better understanding.
Have you seen political change for the indigenous people of Taiwan, rights recognition?
Yeah, but I think, in my opinion, no matter what kind of party, they really have the same target to indigenous policy, no matter the social benefit or public or media or education. They are all the same goal to continue the indigenous policy.
Okay, wow, you have bipartisan support in Taiwan for indigenous rights. That just means everyone is on the same side. I've read that Taiwanese indigenous people have a lot of connections to the indigenous people of New Zealand and Australia. Do you have a lot of collaborations with indigenous peoples around the Southeast Asia as well?
Yeah, because there is an organization named WIBN.
How do you spell that?
WITBN is World Indigenous Television Broadcast Network. There are 6 members in this organization. Besides Taiwan, there are Canada APTN.
Oh, wow.
And NITV from Australia, and Maori TV from New Zealand, and Hawaii TV from the States, and NRK TV from Norway.
From Norway?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's much further away, because I was thinking about Canada, the U.S., Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, and then Norway is kind of on the other side of Asia and Europe. Are there indigenous people from Norway that are connected?
Sami.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know
people.
that.
So in this organization, we can exchange the news and we can exchange the program. So every day we can know other countries' indigenous news. So in this case, we have more cooperation.
So one of my biggest questions is about language and sharing these indigenous programs and productions. you are sharing the culture and often probably in indigenous languages. But there are so many indigenous languages.
Yeah.
How many ethnic groups of Taiwanese indigenous people are there?
There are 16 indigenous ethnic groups and almost 746 tribes in Taiwan. So until to 2021, the population of Taiwan indigenous people are almost 600,000 people. And the Amis, or we say Banza, is the largest population, almost 220,000 people in Taiwan.
Okay, yeah. That is about 1/3 of
one-third.
population.
Yeah,
Wow.
one-third.
So each of these ethnic peoples, or many of them, many of these tribes, also have their own differing languages. Which indigenous language is most widely used? Would it be Amis?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And is that mutually intelligible? Like, can speakers of other indigenous languages also understand Amis a little bit? Or are they very, very different languages?
No, I think each ethnic groups are totally different about their language. Even the same ethnic group, just like Ataya, they have different pronunciation, different vocabulary words in different area.
I guess, how do you decide with all of these languages and all this linguistic background you want to share? How do you decide which languages are used most often, I guess, on something like a TV channel or a radio show?
We have daily news and indigenous language news every day. So daily news use Mandarin, and indigenous language news means use indigenous language. But there are 16 different ethnic groups in Taiwan. So at least there are different 16 languages in indigenous people. So our anchor, our indigenous news, we have to balance 16 different anchors to report every week. So it is a very big challenge to us to balance. Today is Amis, tomorrow is Taiwan. It's no matter what the population is less or big, the largest, we have to balance.
Yeah.
Language.
It's already hard for like this podcast because it is a podcast for and about Taiwan, but it also has to be in English because with ICRT we're making English podcasts. So with just 2 languages here, I imagine it must be so difficult with 16 languages.
Yeah. We have to at least 50% in indigenous language of our program or news. But I think our anchor, our indigenous language teacher or indigenous language reporter is very awesome because they have to read the subtitle machine, but subtitle machine is in Mandarin. And she have to read the Mandarin words and speak indigenous language.
That is actually amazing.
At the same time, it's very, very difficult.
What is the most difficult part of running a foundation like this, like the IPCF?
It's really hard to answer these questions. But I think the first of all is talent education. Yeah, because in Taiwan tribe, the old traditional, the parents wish the younger people, the younger students, they can go to the government for job or the lawyer, or they can back to their hometown to do something. So in TITB, in our station, less and less younger people want to join us to learn about this, no matter the media or the art. And another thing I think is the budget, because all the budget are from the government, 99%. The budget is from the government. So we have to do the...
You have to organize the budget with the government a lot.
Yeah, we have no...
So you're saying that's like, because the government budget is so strict, it's really difficult to kind of take your own freedom and go use the budget on the projects that you would like to see produced.
Yeah.
I know that feeling too. It doesn't matter whether it's here or anywhere else. Like sometimes you have an idea, and the idea might be a good idea or really easy to do. But before you can do it, you have to make sure 10 other people are okay with it, and then everything kind of slows down. So yeah, that can be pretty difficult for sure.
Do you know CIP?
Council of Indigenous People?
Yes. In Mandarin, 原住民族委员会。原住民族委员会是台湾最高的原住民事务机关。而 IPCF, we are the foundation of CIP. So we just in charge of indigenous arts and media. Other things belongs to CIP.
So if you're making something like a new law or a new sort of fund for people's rights or something, then that would be the CIP.
Yeah.
And you guys are mostly focused on culture.
Yeah.
And arts. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say to people living in Taiwan?
Taiwan is already multiculturalism for last 2 decades, but I think it's really need to respect the different culture from your heart. It shouldn't be just the former. Yes, I know your culture. Yes, I understand, but need to from your heart learning to respect and to value each other.
Okay, good. And people can learn more about all these indigenous cultures, art, productions through TITV, Taiwan Indigenous Television, and Alian FM 96.3, correct?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us today, Joe.
No problem, my pleasure.
Okay, that was Joe Zhuang, former deputy manager of the IPCF, the Indigenous Peoples Cultural Foundation. And for everyone else, this has been Taiwan Talk. Thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm Trevor Tortomasi on ICRT FM 100. If you'd like to hear more from ICRT, you can check out our other podcasts. We've got Taiwan This Week, a roundup of the news in Taiwan every Friday, English in the News for useful English expressions explained in Chinese, and EZ News, spelled with the letters E and Z, for simplified daily news. For some lighter news in both English and Chinese, check out News Bites and News for Kids. And if you enjoy them, tell a friend. Thanks for listening.